Thank you for joining me on Chef Gordon's Kitchen. I would love for you to like, share, subscribe, press that notification, share with your family, share with your friends, send it far and wide. So today we'll be doing a jerk tofu with our Irish and carrot and string bean combined together. See you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut our Irish potato. Our Irish potato they're already washed. So what we have is our we have our Irish potato, our carrot, our garlic, and our jerks season, our salt, string bean, and what we have our onion. We don't have any white onion. What I'm going to use is our purple onion, and this is our tofu. And we have our oil, and then we have our special spice that we'll use to help flavor. And yes, we have oil as well that we'll be using. So now we just cut our wash Irish, and we're going to use a fancy cutter. You have it in this size, the small size. You have them in very sizes, and we're going to try and cut them at least about 1 inch in terms of thickness, and we'll try to maintain that as best as possible. So this is how it looks. So we'll take this and put aside in our container. We have our container here ready for it. So we're going to go ahead and do the same with the rest. So actually this in itself will make a complete meal. And remember, in our previous videos we show you how to handle our knives. So and where to place your hand and your fingers when you're doing this. Remember, this too as well can cut your finger if you're not careful of how you handle it. Some of the slices are too big. You can always cut them a little smaller. But if you want them to cook very quickly, you can always cut them a little smaller, which would be about like a cube. That will be probably about a ½ inch in terms of thickness. I see a little black stuff on it that you want to remove. You just remove them and proceed as you go along. I want to do it slow so you can see what I'm doing. Cut, you see that? You remove that, and continue cut, and these are the sizes. And place them in your container. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing for our carrots. We're going to keep the same shape, but if you like, you can always cut them in different shapes if your carrot is thicker and bigger than mine. So this is the round shape. separate the containers. Put them in your own container. Alright, just throw them in your own container. I mean, if you want to have them like this, you can have them like this as well, but I want to have them more like this. I more want to have them like this. Alright, so that is that. So the rest is aside. So now we have our garlic, and remember, the procedure is still the same when you're using your knife. See it? Remember the finger? You have two fingers here, and you cut. And remember, your knife must always be sharp. Alright, and then I go like this. Good. So place that garlic in that container there. So we have this and this ready. We have our string bean. So my string bean, they were in the freezer, so they were already washed and prepared as well. So I'm going to slightly cut them in two. That's run my knife through them, so they look a little bit smaller. So when I'm cooking, everything will go in, will come out evenly. Alright, so now for my onions. Remember, use your hand, but for the onions we're going to cut them in half because we want them to pop out in the dish. So we cut them in half. You see, cut this in half, you cut this in half, and you cut this in half. Alright, but if your onions are bigger, then you can always cut them in three, then half. Alright, or you cut it in three again. So now we have our sweet pepper. So we're removing the skin from the seed, just like that. And what you have left is our seed part of our sweet pepper. So our sweet pepper now, we want to maintain the same color and size as well. So we cut them about an inch, 1 inch. 1 inch in terms of thickness. As I said, we want to see it pop out in our cooking. This is all I have in my yellow bell pepper. So we just cook it, pop it like that. So alright, so I'm going to get this board clean. And I am back. And then I'm going to sharpen my knife a little bit. Knife, and then we have our tofu. So you cut it like this, cut it like this, cut it like this. So you see the thickness of it? The thickness of it. So what we're going to do now is to cut it like this now. And bop, bop. So you have them like this. Alright? Have them like this. You set it aside. The same thing again. Set it aside. Alright, we have this is now a little bit thick, so you have to be very mindful of that, and then cut it like this. You get 4 out of it. Try and get the same thing here, so you can get about the size. Alright, so we have all of this here ready now. So what I'm going to do is to apply some oil to my Irish potato. I'm going to mix it in. Right, and I'm going to add a little tip of my jerk season, blended jerk season. I'm going to mix that in. Then I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. And mix it in. Alright, good. And then we have our pan here. You're going to tip a little oil on your pan. Our potato already have oil on it, but at the same time we still don't want to have the pan stick, the potato stick on our pan. We're going to pour it out like this. We're going to rest this in the oven to bake. So this is our jerk tofu, jerk Irish, in the oven. So we're putting this in our prepared, preheated oven to bake. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing now for our tofu. We're going to reuse our pan. Put the tofu inside here. Add our jerk spice to it. A little salt. And then we're going to add our powdered season to it. Then we're going to add a little oil to it. And we're going to tip a little, with a tip of browning in it. And then you're going to stir it. You're going to stir it up to see if you get the desired color that you want. What I want for it to have that light brownish look in it. Alright, so when it go inside the oven now and it starts to bake, then it will change color. Alright, so this is our jerk tofu now. Will be going on our baking sheet. Grease them up. Always remember to grease up your container. You pour it out on it and spread it out evenly on your tray. And then we're going to put this now in the oven, just as how we did with the potato, and then we'll get back to you. Alright, so our tofu was done in about 15 minutes. So we're going to add our, well, it is not finished. We're going to add our carrot to it. and we're going to add our garlic to it, and then we're going to put this in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes so the carrot can cook, and then we'll add our, let me just add our onion to it as well, and we're going to let all of this now cook at once. Let all of this cook at once for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, so after a good 30 seconds, half an hour, our Irish is cooked, or I should say almost cooked, but we cannot wait until everything is fully cooked because we have to add our sweet pepper and our string bean. And we're going to stir in everything. So those are for flavor, and then our tofu and garlic and carrot and our onion is already ready. So we can combine everybody together now. And then 5 minutes, 5 more minutes in the oven, and then we are ready to serve. I'm trying to ensure that all the colors are evenly spread. Ensure that all the colors are evenly spread. So no more than about 5 more minutes. Give it 10 minutes tops, and we are ready to serve. So this is our jerk tofu with our jerk string bean, carrot, and our Irish potato. I would love for you to like, share, subscribe, and press our notification, and remember, share with your friends. Thanks for being here with me on Chef Gordon's Kitchen.